With coronavirus sweeping across the world, many of us are having to go into self-isolation. And today I want to talk about how you can actually prepare your pet for isolation if coronavirus hits your household. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex from ourpetshealth.com, where my aim is to help you and your pet live a healthier, happier life. The first thing we need to think about is supplies and making sure you've got enough supplies in. Of course, I'm not talking about hoarding, and absolutely you shouldn't go out and buy all of your dog and cat food that's on the shelf, meaning that no one else can get that. I simply mean don't leave it until the last minute before you're looking to replenish your stocks, because supplies may be a little bit hit or miss. Opening hours of shops may be different and the services that we normally rely on may be disrupted. But with supplies, you should be thinking certainly about food, with litter if you've got a cat, thinking about medical supplies as well, just making sure you've got a few weeks in because veterinary services may well be disrupted, or it may be that you struggle to get to the vet to pick up the supplies. And one thing that I think a lot of people won't think about, and that's very important, is that if you're self-isolating because you've been in contact or because you're unwell and you're not able to exercise your dog especially, is to make sure that they've got some mental stimulation so they can stay engaged, they can stay as happy as possible despite not being able to go out exploring in the wider world. Of course, self-isolation, if you live rurally, doesn't mean that you have to stay in your house, and it may be that you can still take your pet for a walk in an area that no one else is going to be. But if you're stuck inside, then providing a food toy, and that can be Kongs, it can be licky mats, snuffle pads, there's various different food puzzles, and I'll leave links to my recommendations over on my Amazon page down in the description. But providing those things for your pet can make a huge amount of difference to their mental well-being, and that will stop potential destructive behavior, barking, and them getting frustrated and unhappy with that imposed isolation. After supplies, you need to be thinking about having a backup carer. So do you have someone who can come and look after your pet if you do get taken unwell and you do need to get taken to hospital? So does this backup carer, do they have a key? Are they able to access your property? Are they aware of the care that your pet needs? Any medication, any grooming, any special dietary requirements? Also, are they happy to actually go and look after your pet given the current situation? If they're worried about catching coronavirus from you or from your pet, then I'd encourage you to check out the video linked on screen, which goes through the risk, and it explains how that's really a very, very low risk indeed. And then if you do need to take your pet to the veterinarian because they're unwell or for any other reason, then definitely call ahead, especially if you've pre-booked that appointment several weeks in advance. Make sure that the appointments are still running, make sure that services haven't been disrupted, and check to see if there are any requirements that they're asking their patients and their clients to go through to minimize the risk of spread. So very often that could be waiting in the car. Definitely only take one person to take your pet to the vet. Don't go in with the whole family, because that's going to minimize their exposure to other people and also minimize the exposure of the veterinary staff to other people. Also consider delaying any non-essential, non-emergency treatment. So if it's just your 3-monthly nail clip, for example, then that can definitely wait. Maybe your routine vaccinations might be able to be delayed by a month or two, and the veterinary team will be able to advise you of that if you give them a call to discuss your pet's requirements with them. Also, if you are feeling unwell, if you are showing any signs of coronavirus, so sore throat, kind of coughing, persistent cough, a fever, then clearly do not go into the vet clinic. You need to be self-isolating and getting medical advice for yourself. And then when you're heading to the vet clinic, when you're arriving at the clinic, wash your hands, use alcohol hand rub if you can access that, but soap and water is absolutely fine. Before you go in, also after your visit as well, no handshaking, try and keep your distance from other people, so that's other clients, pets, and also the veterinary staff, and that will really reduce the risk of spreading this coronavirus. If you're worried about the risk that your pet poses to you and your family, then check out this other video on screen. I've also got a free guide to helping keep your pet as happy and healthy as possible, and I hope you all stay safe out there.